there, welcome. This video is just for you. If you are purchasing or selling a home and you want to understand what the escrow company does in your transaction, it's not supposed to be a mystery. It's supposed to be super easy, but there's a lot of steps involved. So let's go. First of all, my name is Lisa Schultz. I'm a 20+ year veteran of title and escrow. And what I've learned is that we use a lot of terms in this business, and buyers and sellers can sometimes get in the weeds because they don't understand stuff. So I've made a series of videos that show you who escrow is, what do they do, how are they defined, and this all is in the state of Washington. This video is the what. What is the process? So when a escrow company receives a purchase and sale agreement, the team reviews the purchase and sale and sends out information. First of all, you should receive a welcome letter saying, this is who your closing team is, and this is what we need. For buyers, we're going to request a bunch of different information. Who's your lender, if you have one? Who's the insurance company that you want us to work on? For the seller, we're going to be asking other things. Do you have a loan on it? We need to get a payoff on that. Do you have any homeowners association? We need their contact information because we want to pay that up. Are there certain utilities that you want us to pay at time of closing? These are the kinds of things that are super important. The other thing is most escrow companies want a title report. This is a report on all of the debt that is listed on a property. So the next piece is, once we get that title report, is the closing team will review that title report and see if there any other information that we need from the seller or from the buyer. And there could be a multitude of different things. So as a buyer and seller in a real estate transaction, you're going to have a lot of contact with your escrow team, or closing team is what we call them. Okay? So they get all of the payoffs. They're also reading the title report to make sure it's done. Now, in the meantime, you might be going through an inspection on the property. You might be getting some information from the lender based on appraisals. All that information is coming into escrow. Our job is to keep it intact and making sure that you guys are meeting any specific closing dates. We work really closely with your brokers if you've got real estate brokers in the transaction. If you're for sale by owner, you guys are getting a lot of communication from your closing team. So we've now reviewed the title report. We've now ordered all the payoffs, is what we call them, which are the final billing that the companies are telling us to charge the seller. And we wait for loan docs. So once we get all that, the loan docs come in for the buyer if they have loan documents, and we schedule signings. In the meantime, we are also preparing any legal documents, meaning the transfer deed that transfers from the seller to the buyer, or any other special documents that need to be done. Closing explanations of what we've been doing, any sort of federal, county, or local municipality documents. We have to get all those together. The escrow team's job is to make sure that the property transfers from the seller to the buyer in a legally binding way. So we prepare your documents. Your buyer now needs to sign. Your seller needs to sign. Who arranges the signings? Your closing team does. So they'll reach out to you and they will ask, how can we expedite having you sign the documents? For buyers, it can range anywhere from 15 minutes up to a couple hours, depending on loan documents. For sellers, I normally like to tell sellers, hey, plan on 20 minutes to an hour, depending on the complications of the signing. The signing can be done with a mobile notary. That is somebody who is a notary licensed in the state of Washington who comes to wherever you want to meet them. It can be done at local escrow offices, or they can be done remotely. Now, not all states approve of remote notaries, and remote notaries have some qualifications that we need to make sure that they follow. So you can sign in several different ways. Once the signatures are all obtained, we now wait for the money. The money needs to come in from the buyer. Once we have all the money and everything's accounted for, we can take that to the recording office or the title company that's going to have those deeds recorded. And escrow's job is to protect that money to make sure that it can all get paid out on the seller's debts. Once that's done, and once escrow has been told, buyer's happy, seller's happy, if there's a lender, lender's happy, the brokers are happy, go record it. They have that and release it to record. It then gets recording numbers, comes back, we notify everybody that the sale is complete, and then escrow starts paying off the seller's debt to clear the property of all debt. After that, we've got some final paperwork to do. We send out all the notices that this house is closed, all bills are paid, money's been accounted for, and that's what we call closing the sale. So, how does a buyer and seller know when the sale closed? It depends on your contract. In most instances, the contract states at time of recording. So that means once we get recording numbers, the buyer and seller technically have closed the sale. Bills will get paid, debt will be removed, but it might be that afternoon or wired and they might not get it till the next business day. So that's the process of escrow. The one thing I will say is we don't get asked enough questions. As a buyer or seller, if you want a question answered, give us a call, give us an email. Our job is to take care of you. Last thing, how does escrow get paid? We get paid, normally it's one fee that's split between the buyer and the seller. If the buyer or the seller have any extra work, there may be additional work orders. Those will be on a settlement statement. You will know what you're paying at the time of signing, if not before. So I hope that helps. Please contact us if you have any questions and check out my other videos.